to connect, and we're currently on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, which is now X. Yes. So we're also right now on TweetDeck, which is now called X Pro. I guess with the TweetDeck, it's not available to everyone anymore. You have to have a blue check mark to be able to qualify for one. I didn't know that until recently. Someone told me that. Today we got the microphone up higher. You can actually see it. It's probably the most prominent thing in the frame, but I was hoping the sound might be a little better. All right, we will look at the TweetDeck this morning and see what we've got. Please be patient with those who have a hard time articulating how they feel. Many of those people grew up in environments where no matter what they said or how they said it, it was not enough to be heard. Their default to be safe was to stop sharing. Again, patience, please. And we all go through that. Sometimes we will have, something that rocks us and we're like, well, I won't do that again. So I totally agree with that. On Thursdays, we love to celebrate all the people who are on all the different streams. Yesterday, I was on MySpace in Dubai, which was so weird and fun. And it just goes to show you how seamless MySpace is. And you know what? The quality was pretty good. If you know of someone in your life right now that brings value, someone who is a source of light in your world, in the comments, just leave their name or their handle. Or just if you don't want to do that, just say it in your mind for a second or call them. Even better. Thankful Thursday is a great day. And I've always enjoyed it. Even when we used to do HAPS, we used to do Thankful Thursday. And it was always one of those things that was worth. Now, here's someone I want to thank right here. You can see it. And I'm highlighting it right here. This is a wonderful person to follow. And if you're on Twitter Spaces, everybody is welcome. I'm going to read something from his profile. Here you go. Every morning I wake up and I think about 10 different things I am thankful for. And I continue to spread that love throughout the day, always visualizing, meditating, and growing. And he still does a lot of different shows in the morning. They're usually early around 9. So if you're not an early bird, I don't suggest doing that. And who is this? Who do we see in this little photo here? That is the Tia. That's such a good shot of her too. So the platform we're using today, if you're wondering, it's called Restream. And it gives you the ability to shuffle like this, like what we're doing right now. And then you can also screen share, which is what we were doing before. And all you have to do with that is, right now I've hit within a screen, within the X Pro, and all I have to do now is go backwards, and we're back into the main screen. So if I want to make myself smaller, I just click that, and there you see. And then you also have different backgrounds that you can pick and use. And as you can see, it keeps up. It's not blurring. That was one of the problems that I had found with some of the different formats. This one definitely keeps up. Edward Sim, this is a person I have followed forever. He is incredibly successful on Twitter. As you can see here, he has 218,000 followers worldwide. And he's been doing this for a while. He's a graphic designer. And he's a person who also does his form of shoutouts. All right, let's go back here. Click this. This one the other day, this is our foundations. And I love this tweet. We're going to read it this morning. It's life expectancy is 75 years. Work years is 50. To be free for 10. Yeah. It's scary, isn't it? Because you retire at 65. Most people. So you work 50 years, and then if you're lucky, you get 10 of quality, if your health is good. This is a beautiful photo. This is another individual I highly recommend following. He's in the fashion industry. Here you go. I'm going to bring up his site. This must be all of his dogs. But David I've followed, I bet, for 12 years. Let's read one of his tweets here. Oh, he posted this morning. Having few true friends is better than having a large network of pretentious friends. Quality beats quantity all the time. I would agree. Let's read another one. Patience is waiting, not passively waiting. That is laziness. But to keep going when the going is hard and slow, that is patience. And I think these are written by him. Interesting. Oh, that's unique. I think that's him there at Halloween. Oh my God, that's quite the mask. I love this one here. This is a salary is a drug they give you to forget your dreams. That was Kevin O'Leary. Do you know who that is? I know who that is. Communication skills. 7 traits, okay, in business. Number 1, communication skills. 2, strategic thinking. 3, ethical behavior. 4, self-motivation. 5, adaptability. 6, execution. And 7, intuitive. And I think intuitive is very important. You know what I forgot to do this morning? I gotta click this. Tim Fan 40, good morning. Thank you for being here with us. The other thing is too, if you want to share one of the comments, you hit it like that, and you will see it directly on the screen. It's that simple. And then when you want to get rid of it, you just hit hide. Okay, I love this one too. 7 signs you need to start your own business. You want to build your own team. You want to create your future. You feel trapped at your job. You always think. You are always thinking. I like that. You are passionate. You are motivated. You've got grit. I think grit is probably one of the most important things. Tony! Gonna be in a class soon, but just checking in. Okay, cool. A class for work? There you go. Tony and I do a show, I think it's Sundays around 10. And we do, the upcoming craziness in the football. We usually do predictions. Or we talk about the game the week before. Or we just talk about life. It's fun. And our last show was really, really good. Like phenomenal. But I will definitely highlight Tony today. But he's a person, if you're on Twitch, highly recommend following him. And him and I haven't known each other as many years. I think we've known each other now 3 years. Maybe 3. It's hard to know. I found the last 3 years have just flown by. That was the great thing about HAPS, even because I'm 60 now. I just turned 60, and it was a great place to meet individuals between, I would say, 40 and 60 and above. And there's not a lot of people on the internet that are 60 broadcasting daily. It's just not a normal occurrence. You might see it in sports, like you'll have someone like Skip here, who is in his 70s, and he's on the net every day. He is obsessed with LeBron. I always forget that he does multiple sports. Oh my God, I love this picture. This is hilarious. This one right here. But he has totally revamped his show recently. And I think some weeks he's doing well and other weeks he's not. I think he's having a rough time with the new format. He had a good thing, and I think you got to remember that if you've got a business partner who may be stronger than you are, has better skills, that you have to, instead of trying to squish them, make sure that you look out for them, right? That's the key. He had some really hidden assets. This is an incredible person to follow, especially if you're in business, right here. Highly recommend. Digital nomad. I love that. That's a somewhat modern term, isn't it? Who else we got here? I love that name. Naked numerology. That is kind of hilarious. I'm going to go here and see what's going on today. Definition of success: be able to live your life on your terms. I would agree. What is comfortable is rarely profitable. Ooh, that's another good one. I like this too. 5 ways to boost your motivation. Visualize success, celebrate small wins, remember why you started, believe in yourself and the mission, surround yourself with positive people. I would agree. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I know that one. That's Wayne Dyer. He was one of the great. Well, Tony says we've known each other 2.5 years, and he's at a conference. So we'll flip that over there, and we'll get. But the last 2.5 years has felt like 5 years in many ways. It's been a wild ride. I like this one. This is so true. First starting your business a year later. Look at how much that person has aged. Yes. Starting a business can be really rough. Really, really rough. And most businesses don't make any money the first 5 years. And they're very lucky to break even. But if you have the stamina to stay in it, you can do very well. And that was including Amazon. I think Amazon barely made any money the first 10 years. Isn't that wild? Tesla had a really rough time the first 5 years. They had a lot of growing pains. SpaceX, same thing. Apple almost didn't make it the first 5 years. But Elon said, it's like birthing a child. You can't give up. You would never give up on a child. You would never stop feeding it. And to him, there was no due course to save yourself. It was all in. Like you either lost it all and started it again, but then he could live with knowing that he did everything within his power. And especially with Tesla, he and SpaceX for that matter, they were within months of having to close because they just didn't have the fundage. And I believe what saved SpaceX was government funding, which you have to have if you're doing projects like that. But he was the first one to be able to recycle rockets and land them. And that was thought to be impossible. And it near was, which is wild. He's one of those true successes. I think when people look at him later in life, they'll be amazed at what he has accomplished. Okay, so do I hit this? All right, so we are going to see if I can switch this around. No, cancel that. Interesting. I think I was in La La Land there for a minute. All right, Let me go back. Now it did. The one thing in this program, and it's not the program's fault, I have multiple screens, and sometimes what happens is I push the wrong button and then I get locked. So you have to kind of just slow yourself down and figure out what you did. And I think the longer you do it, the more you'll realize there's certain things that are easily done and others not. The scariest moment is always just before you start. After that, things can only get better. That was Stephen King. I like that. Health is not valued until sickness comes. Oh, I love that one. I've said that one before. Let's quickly look at, before we go, let's see if I have, okay, here's notifications. Let's click this. All right. See what's going on this morning here. These are all the updates you can see here. I like that they do this. This is something they didn't have before. And if you look here and you hit this, you go into the verified part. So this is only verified users. And you can see this person retweeted something that I had shared. And this is their site. Beautiful, beautiful photography. I've been following her for a little while. I think like 3 years. Diane right here. I don't think I've been following her as long. Now, if you look at this, her influence is insane. 138,000. That is very impressive. Let's see what her site looks like. It's probably very business. Yeah. Yeah. And she's doing videos as well. And as you can see here, see this background that you got? There's multiple backgrounds that you can use on Restream that are similar to that. But to get people to engage in business websites is not an easy task at all. Okay, Noble Ron. He's someone I've followed for a long time. Let's see what else we got here. This is interesting. This must be her Halloween costume. Okay. This individual, thank you. I'm following them as well. Isn't that weird? We were just talking about Tesla. Author, test drives, President, Forbes. And it looks like he's got 104,000 followers. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. I love Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was the first one that took large content and then cut it up in little bite-sized morsels and used it in TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. And that's the great thing. If you can repurpose material, that's the only way to go. I totally agree with that. And the other thing you'll find too is just like Skip Bayless here. He has his main show, but then he also has kind of his own podcast that he has, it looks like notes in front of him. He doesn't have a crew. And I think it's more in depth. Now, it does not have the viewership that his main show has. Undisputed. All right. So look at this. Now, Seth here. Who else we got? Oh, this, you know what? I have followed this guy for, I think, 5 years, roughly. 4 to 5 years. Very nice person, as you can see here. HR technology consultant, practitioner, excited about the future of work, intersection of HR and tech. Now let's read this. If you cannot find peace within yourself, you'll never find it anywhere else. Marvin Gaye. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. And this is very tech, which is cool. If this is neat too. Critical thinkers. I like this. Let's see if we can get this bigger so I can read it. Developing 21st century critical thinkers. Integrate critical thinking skills within and across content areas. Open minded, engage in problem solving, analyze, reason, evaluate, reflect on learning, collaborate with others, make the new real world applications, think critically and creatively, communicate clearly and accurately. Allow time to develop critical thinking skills. I would agree. And that is something I think takes a very, very long time. That is a cool graph. I like that a lot. So, folks, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here with us today. I wanted to get a show in today. Today's going to be a full plate for me. And I was not too sure if I was going to be able to be on today. So I'm grateful that I got this done. I'm grateful for the people who will watch this. This will definitely be cut up later, and I will repurpose some of it on TikTok, and you'll see it there. Now, I have not been able to share this on TikTok yet through the stream, and I would love to be able to do that. That would make my life a little easier. I have read, though, you don't get the same traction that you would get if you just cut it out and posted it. So I highly recommend, taking the time to do that. And if you have the right programs, even within YouTube, you can do that. It's not that difficult. And if it's below 10 minutes, your content, it can easily be done within TikTok. And they have incredible tools within the TikTok app. In many ways, better than what YouTube supplies. So, all right, let's get out of here. And it is Thankful Thursday. So let's see. Click this. We'll go back to notifications. Verified. We'll go to mentions. And this is mostly Edward. Oh, you know what? Right here. Here's a person I've followed for like 3 to 4 years. Highly recommend them as well. They also do a lot of video content out of Hong Kong, Singapore, right here. And there's their LinkedIn profile. That is so smart to do. If you have a LinkedIn and you have a Twitter, I would highly suggest putting your LinkedIn in if you are a business person. If you are a social media person, I would recommend sharing your YouTube, because a lot of people end up getting paid on their YouTube long term. And as we speak, we are broadcasting on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. And Twitch is one of those things I've yet to really fully figure out, but it looks like within a week or so I'll get some form of monetization. And with Twitch, the way that you get monetized is at the beginning of your show, they play ads. And, it's not a lot of money. Unless you have a huge audience. If you have a huge audience, then you can do very well. I still think one of the platforms that pays the most is TikTok. For you can get the most amount of money. But many people don't like TikTok because it's not very secure. YouTube is another format where you used to make a lot of money, but it's getting more and more difficult. And it's kind of that 2% that are making the millions, because they're getting a majority of, I would say, the support and the tools to do what they need to do. If you want to get traction, easily get traction, I would suggest being on Twitter and being verified. If you're verified, there are a lot of perks, including this TweetDeck that we're looking at right now. All right, so what do we got here? This is a wide variety of posts here. That is wild. Look at that. That is not something you see every day. Oh, I hear Tia. So I'm going to call it a day. Thank you, folks. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate your support. I'm just trying to find the one button here. Click it here. There we go. There's me. And I am going to spend some quality time with Tia. I think she needs to go outside. Thank you for being here, and we will connect soon. Maybe tomorrow around this time. Thank you. Take care.